And we're rolling. So, firstly, thanks, Rebecca, for jumping on. So for those listening today, obviously Rebecca Petch joining us. Hopefully I get all this right. Trying to look at the research on you is a fair few pages in terms of titles and things. So let's have a go at it. So we've got multiple world and New Zealand elite BMX champion and Olympian. 12th place at the Tokyo 2020 Games, and then transferred over to track cycling, where you've obviously already, in a short space of time, stacked up some pretty incredible performances. If I've got it right, gold at women's team sprint and at Birmingham, fourth in the 500 metre TT in Birmingham as well, and then obviously just coming back from a fifth place at the team sprint world champs in Glasgow. So hopefully I've got all that right, Rebecca, but it's an absolute privilege to have you on. So thank you. Thanks for coming along.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Not quite world champ for BMX, but yeah, there was a few world placings in there.
Well, placings, yeah, right. Sorry, it
Yeah.
just came up. If your Wikipedia page said multiple world champion, I was like, okay, well, I better throw it in there. So,
Oh, I wish.
all right, world placings are still pretty damn impressive, and obviously there's a
Yeah.
number of New Zealand ones in there as well. I'm guessing throughout the age groups.
Yes. Yeah.
Heaps, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's awesome to speak with you. Thanks for the time. I know you guys have obviously you're probably still jet lagged and recovering from Glasgow. Or has it not been too bad since you got back?
Hasn't been too bad. I feel like I always hit a wall around 8 o'clock at night. But other than that, just trying to stay up until I can
Get
so I
back to
don't
normal time.
get up at 2 a.m.
Wicked. Now, I just don't mean to play down your BMX achievements, but we sort of talked a little bit off there. I was probably, well, not the worst BMXer in the world, but I did get a sixth place in the Bell Block BMX Champs here in New Zealand from the mid 1980s, and I think I won a $4 thing at the TSB Bank. So I know that's I don't want to put you to shame, but we're about there.
Awesome.
As we mentioned before, like the hard and fast way you guys race BMX has certainly changed over the years. That those tracks of the 80s and 90s, it was obviously really huge then in terms of people, but man, the jumps and start ramps in particular they were flat paddocks compared to what you were racing on in the last few years. So
Yeah. I remember when I started, it was like 3 meter tall start ramps and then finishing on
yeah,
like 8 meters. So bit of a progress there.
they were. I just watched some of the stuff at Glasgow, and they sort of were trying to do the speed trap stuff at the bottom in terms of how fast the guys and girls are coming down the ramp. Have you ever seen any of that kind of data, or what have you seen?
Um, yeah, I guess we get like split timing, so you can just like see what your time is to the bottom of the hill, and then it would like do the same to the first corner, and then so on around the track.
Yeah, right. So you don't actually, in terms of you never had a kilometre an hour stuff at the bottom of the start ramp and that kind of thing. Has it
Um,
ever popped up?
no, I guess not really, like not for training. We
Yeah,
didn't really have the resources for that. But I guess you see it at big events like Worlds.
yeah. They're talking some pretty horrendous speeds, and and you can see that when you guys are still carrying jumping a double or a triple on the
Yeah,
second or third straight from that. It's pretty. There's a lot of speed getting carried. So.
yeah, for sure.
One of the things we want to sort of kick off with any of these podcasts is starting off what your last training session was and what your next one will be. Do you mind sharing a bit of that with us for people that are listening in?
My last training session um, was in Glasgow before World Champs.
Yep.
It actually wasn't a great one. I was,
Going to say a recovery ride or something and throw me out.
pardon?
Going to say a recovery ride and throw the whole thing out now.
Oh no, no, I was struggling with a bit of a back issue, so it wasn't my best training. But my next one will be, I guess, today. I'll do a gym session.
Yep.
Um, yeah,
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up a little bit later on actually, but to see what you guys do. Obviously, looking at some of the obviously stories and articles that have been written about you, or even your own social media. Obviously, there's a huge amount of strength work in there, so I'd be keen to tap into that a little bit later if we can, as to how you find that sort of stuff and the benefits of it. So, well, can we go back a few years ago then? I guess can you just take us back to the beginning? What started the BMX journey? How did it come about, and what got you into it, and how old were you? That kind of thing.
so I was 3 years old when I first got on a BMX bike.
Wow.
My brother was doing it before me, um, and then I guess I was just watching him for a while, and then my parents decided to let me have a go, and um, yeah, it just, I guess, happened from there on, never looked back. Yeah, been doing it, well, not anymore, but was doing BMX for 21 years, so it was
Wow.
a bit of a journey.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So, what got you into BMX itself? Like, what was it just the family were into it, and that was the appeal? You just the
Yeah, I
family sport
think
sort of thing.
yeah, it was just a like a really good family sport. My cousins did it, brother, even my dad did it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I think yeah, that was the attraction was that it was a family sport. Everyone goes down to the track and I don't know, just enjoys it. Yeah.
Yep. And you just obviously found a natural niche. Were you winning straight away? Like you obviously had won a lot, but I mean, did you find it came naturally to you, or did you like the rest of us sort of have a few average ones?
Um, I think so. I remember my dad was pushing me up the hills to start with,
Yeah.
and then I started beating my cousin, which actually got into the Te Awamutu Courier photo of me in front of him across the line. I think I was
Oh,
probably
I bet he
like
hated that.
4 years old. Yeah. Um, but yeah, I guess it just the more you ride, the more natural it came.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool. Yeah. So, what did your training look like for that? I guess it would be obviously different when you're a kid. You just go down and like most of us get at whatever time you ride a lap and that kind of thing, or whatever you do from there. But when you got into it, like in terms of getting that performance sort of mindset, or actually, when did that sort of start? When did you start chasing national titles or qualifications? At what sort of age group did that
Um,
happen?
well, my first world was in 2009, so I was 11.
Oh, geez, okay.
Um, yeah, yeah, because I guess with BMX you can do world champs. I think it might be 8 now. So you can go to world champs at 8 years old. But yeah, I guess my first training I would do was around 10.
Yep.
I remember like going outside at 7 a.m. before school and doing sprints along the road.
Well,
Um, yeah, so I guess it
yeah.
was kind of yeah, I did train when I was younger,
Yeah.
and it kind of just became I don't know, just something that I did. Yeah,
Yeah. Did that sort of evolve as you got a bit further in? Like, if you go into the worlds at 11, obviously you're getting a taste of that success and what might be, and obviously I guess things like that would have been around the time when there would have been rumours of BMX getting into the Olympics or the Commonwealth Games, or in the near horizon, was it? Is that, and so it would become a target.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I still remember when the first Olympics was well, sorry, the first BMX was in the Olympics. I remember watching Sarah Walker.
Yep.
Um, yeah, and I was sitting in my primary school classroom on the mat. So I was like, since then, I
Wow.
think that's when it gave me, the motivation to
Yep.
train and want to be like her at the Olympics. So
Be there,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's a heck of a show, isn't it? Well, I mean,
Mm.
yeah, it just looks. I think we've all done that from the Commonwealth Games sort of Olympic thing. There's just something amazing about it, and it's the beauty of it. I guess it just attracts so many people and brings people to
Yeah.
sport or a new sport or whatever. So from there, but what did your in those sort of teenage years, or when you were really getting into your real sort of what you would your best, I suppose. What would your training look like then? Like we're talking late teens or towards the end of your BMX career, if you like. What was your typical training day? How did that look like?
Um, well, it varied a little bit. I guess there was three types of trainings that we'd do. One would be sprints, which was like what I said out on the road,
Yep,
gym, and then at the BMX track.
yep,
Um, So I guess a typical week would be probably like 2 sprint sessions a week, 3 to 4 gym sessions, and then probably like 4 track sessions. So there was like
well,
definitely
yeah, right,
double days.
yep,
Um, but yeah, all the track sessions were different. One might just be like a not so much physical, more like doing jumps and getting the technical side
yeah, sure,
down pat. Um,
yep.
yeah.
So were you working or studying or that sort of thing then, or were you pretty much full time athlete at that stage? Or
No, I was working. I haven't really not worked throughout my athlete career, which is, I
yeah,
guess, it keeps me nice and balanced. But I guess it's just getting that right balance. Um, yeah. And I've
it's
studied
interesting.
a few different things as well. Yeah.
So you've always sort of had to juggle the training around. It's quite interesting because I think a lot of us think I guess wrongly, that when you guys are part of that performance program, that there's just well, it'd be nice to think there's just unlimited funding, and you guys are paid a huge salary just to go and become a full-time athlete and train and race. But it's it's obviously not quite like that.
No, not quite the case.
Not quite. One day.
Yeah, one day.
One day. Yeah. So the transition into track cycling, that was that. Had you tried that out earlier? Like, it looked like you were dabbling in both for a short period of time.
Yes, I first got on the bike end of 2021 for the first time.
Right.
I guess the idea of track cycling got floated with me pre-Tokyo, and then I was like, oh nah, like I'm all on BMX. That's like that's my passion. And then after Tokyo, I kind of thought about it. So, like, I'd like to see how I would go. And then, after MIQ, lockdown, all that, I decided to go on the track, and then I enjoyed it. So then I started doing it once a week for quite a while. Still while doing BMX 6 days out of the week. So I guess I dabbled in it both for a little bit until probably Com Games, and then I decided to just do like the 3 months just on the track up to Com Games, and then
Here you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
pretty much.
how does that process? I guess it's one thing that sort of fascinated us from behind the scenes. Like, there's probably a lot of us around the country that have followed like a lot of your journey and people in that similar sort of world. And how does it work? Does someone shoulder tap you and say, hey, you should try out for track, or did you just think, hey, this is probably going to be a natural fit? It's explosive and hard and fast. I might work, or how does that happen?
I guess you could say I got shoulder tapped to give it a go, and kind of just shut down the idea to start with because, like I said, BMX was my passion. But the more I thought about it, I was like, oh, maybe I could be okay at it because BMX is that explosive power as well, and Yeah,
okay. So, looking at some of the stuff here, when you sort of started off, there's a record that you look like you broke quite one of your first this standing lap, and you broke it on your first attempt.
Yeah.
Where does that fit in the process? Because that's for me, that's fascinating to think that you're just going to come out of the gate and just go and wreck someone.
Yeah. I guess there was no process to that. It was just.
Was that quite early on?
Yeah, that was I think within my probably first few months of riding the bike. But looking like at the video now, it's like, how did I do that?
Right.
Just all over the place.
Right. I guess for those that haven't ridden on a velodrome before, that it's relatively easy to go fast on a velodrome, but to go fast and efficient and try and be hold that pursuiter's line at the bottom is another world altogether, isn't it? So especially when you're throwing full power at it, So it's amazing. Yeah, it's such a cool story when you look at it like that. But so if we're going forward into the velodrome stuff now, once you've made that transition, what is sort of pre-Birmingham or pre-Glasgow? What does a typical training day look for you now, like compared to what you were doing? If we're just talking purely on the velodrome sort of side of things now.
So we have 3 double days during the week, which is usually like gym in the morning and then track in the afternoon. I was doing 4 gyms a week leading up to Worlds just to try to get a little bit stronger. And then track in the afternoon usually for about 3 hours. There would be, I guess, different kind of efforts, a lot of motorbike efforts, and then obviously doing team sprint efforts. On the track.
Well, so you're still training. Yeah, you're training probably a lot more in terms of volume, in terms of hours. Is that what you would have?
Yes. Yeah. So the main days that we train are like they're just real big days. So you'll be in the gym for 2 hours in the morning. And then like a little break in between, and then three or so hours in the afternoon. And then on the days that you don't do that, like prehab work. So like in the gym doing like little building the small muscles and all that prehab kind of stuff. Just recovery to get ready for the next day of hard training. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. So, if you don't mind, if we jump into that gym work now, because one thing we've been talking to a lot of athletes about that we're coaching, or we're sort of setting up, is how important that stuff is. Strength work, but not just going there and having a lift, like you say, specific stuff, or working those real finer muscles that we miss by going forwards. Those little things that can get overlooked. So, obviously, as a performance team for Cycling New Zealand, you guys, there's a huge priority on that, or is it sort of up to the individual to
Um,
incorporate that?
to incorporate the smaller,
Oh, the strength work in
oh, the
general, is
strength.
that?
Oh, yeah.
Yep,
No, yeah, we have programming for our strength and conditioning.
yep,
Um, yeah, so it's all, I guess, kind of laid out for us, but it's all individualized to
sure,
what our needs are. Yeah.
yep. So, and you were doing that with the BMX and obviously carried that right through to this side of things too. So, does it how does it work for you? Have you found do you notice gains that you're making? Do you find bouncing back from injuries better, or what does it do for you, that strength stuff?
Yeah, I guess I've done gym work for quite a while now. Um, a little bit different from the BMX side of things to the track. Um, just I feel like in the track side we're lifting a little bit heavier.
Yep,
Um, yeah, but I definitely think like yeah, being strong um, helps to prevent injury as well. So like if you have a strong back, your muscles are going to protect
yep,
like discs and all that kind of stuff. So
yep.
yeah, it's definitely beneficial having gym in there.
Yeah, and obviously with you guys, with it's obviously is pretty hard and fast, but particularly your role as a starter. I mean that general torque on the whole system looks to be pretty phenomenal when you trying to transfer that power to obviously to the chain to the back wheel, but it's got to come,
Yeah,
yeah, shoulders, core, elbow. I imagine you're eking a
yeah,
bit of power out of every part of your body that you can, really.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting because it seems to work. A lot of people, even in the endurance world, it's right through to short course racing, right through to Ironman, through to you know long endurance cyclists. The strength work seems to be becoming more prominent, which is really cool to see. And certainly that like you say, that rehab stuff is a
mm,
big part of it too, with foam rollers and theroguns and
y-
stretching and that sort of stuff, which is so cool. So
yeah, yeah. And it's I guess once you do like a block in the gym, you don't so much see it on the bike straight away, and then it takes time to I guess transition it to the bike.
yeah,
But it's like quite an exciting process. You know that you're putting yourself into a hole in the gym and you're going slower on the bike, but then it flips and you're
yeah.
going fast on the bike, and you just like see the work I guess flourish a little bit.
So you're just trusting
Yeah,
that process. So
yeah,
it's gonna, yeah. Actually, one thing I just wanted, I made a note of before. You mentioned when you look at that standing lap, you talked about on sort of bouncing back and forward a wee bit here. But did that, and you're saying that was, you look back on that and probably think it was untidy, or it wasn't quite as sharp around the velodrome as it could be. But how long did it take from that sort of early days to you felt? Because for those that haven't been in Cambridge or any of those steep tracks, it takes a little bit of time to feel like you can just move around on it, up, down, out of your seat, accelerate, whatever you need to do. But how long did it take you to really feel like you're on top of it? And hey, I'm just working on speed now. I've got the technique dialed in.
um, well I guess yeah, it is a bit of a process with it. I still feel like sometimes like I'm not like completely natural on the bike. Like I still have to think about what I'm doing.
Right.
Especially like riding slow on the bends. Like that's still a confidence
Yeah.
thing, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, like in terms of like staying on the black line, um, definitely getting better at that. And we do like a lot of motorbike efforts where they push us in and like let us go at 60, 65 Ks, and then you just like I guess dump it and ride around the black line. And I feel
Right.
like that's like helped me to just like dial in, staying low and
Yeah.
using the bends to stay down and all that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's an incredible thing. It's damn good fun when you actually get doing it, and but yeah, I can see people watching from the side or what going, just literally on the side of the track at Cambridge watching. It's like, holy moly, this is it is pretty steep.
Yeah, yeah,
Can be a bit daunting.
yeah.
Um, So how did you find that? I mean, if you look at a BMX start, like I say, I've done velodrome racing and I love it, but I got to be honest, I don't think I'd be lining up at the start of a BMX track and going 8 wide at probably 60k an hour over that first set of triples, because everyone's sort of airborne and elbows out as opposed to just elbows out on a wooden velodrome. I mean,
Yeah.
did that, obviously you had a lot of bike confidence, you weren't afraid to push back when you needed to give yourself some space and that kind of thing. Did that go across well to say a Kieran or match sprint kind of thing on the track for you?
Yeah. Yeah, I think BMX has definitely given me the bike confidence being next to people. I remember in an effort we did at training for the first time, we were like going in a three, and I just went through the middle, and I didn't even think anything of it. But then I realized that I'd like touched the other girls. I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
shit.
sorry. But yeah, I think, well, I've only done probably a handful of Kierans, but I guess relate it to a BMX race, and it feels like what a BMX race
Yeah,
did,
yeah,
but like on a track and no jumps in front of me. So yeah, I think that's definitely helped me in the Kieran. But yeah, I guess I haven't done a lot of match sprinting either, which is I guess not as you're only with one other rider. Um, but yeah, I definitely think it's helped for the Kieran.
yeah, yeah. It must do. I mean, even even just position, but I think it's just one of those things when people, if you've never done it before and you do get their first brush on the elbow or the hip, and it's oh, geez, I don't really. Some people don't like it,
Yeah,
never come back. You know, it's just
yeah,
plenty of good riders that have probably never turned up again. But
yeah.
yeah, so is that the team sprint? Is that your thing? You just that's you love that. Obviously, you're bloody good at it. But I mean, is there other things on the track you want to try, or what does it look for you now?
Yeah, I guess coming into the program, team sprint is the main focus. We want to qualify the team to get to the Olympics. Um, I would love to be able to do another event. Yeah, I think the Kieran would be something that I would probably look at doing more of. But obviously, we've got a Kieran World Champs, so
Yeah, yeah.
there's only
Tough, tough
limited
competition.
spots. Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, definitely
yeah,
looking to progress on other events on the track as well. But it just takes time. And yeah, like
yeah,
I said, the team sprints, what's going to get us to the Olympics.
yeah,
And
for sure. Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
guess
I
the
don't
rest
mean to
will
say
come
that in any way.
eventually.
Yeah, totally. And I don't mean that to play it down at all. I think it's
No,
if you
no.
go to the Olympics for a 5 second race, it's an incredible. One event's amazing. So I'm not in any way
Yeah,
playing it down. It's just interesting, and I think, but from obviously the competitor in you, when you if you did want to have a crack at Kieran, and we currently, like you say, have the current world champion, well then, if you're training with these people, then and they're training with you, then you pretty much know what the standard is, don't you? It's
yeah.
not hard
Oh,
to,
definitely. Yeah.
yeah. So what does that qualification look like to get to Paris for you girls for the team sprint? I mean, I guess the whole of New Zealand that watches it on One News going, why aren't they already there? I mean, that's we're all just blown away. It's incredible. But
Yeah.
what do you guys need to do now? What's the next step?
So the qualification started in July last year.
Yep.
So we went to the Nations Cups at the start of the year to try and get points. The goal was to be in the top 8 countries, um, and that would qualify us to go to the games. And going into Worlds, we were actually sitting ninth, which was because we didn't have the best start to the
Yep.
qualifying.
Yep.
But now we've managed to get up to eighth and pretty close to the other like seven and six. Um, so yeah, I guess just keep chipping away at those Nation Cups and um, Oceanias and stuff like that to keep getting the
Yep.
points to qualify.
So you're just training as if I mean, you obviously it's 99.9% likely that you're going, but I guess you just train as if Paris is this is the date. Uh, Hang on. Yeah, so you're just training as if you're going anyway. I'm assuming there's nothing. You don't leave
Yeah,
anything on the table. It maybe it's just happening.
yeah. I think it's like weird how like you just train anyway. I
Yeah,
think with Tokyo, I didn't find out until the start of July, and
yeah,
everyone's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
"Oh, you're gonna keep training?" It's like, yeah, like I'll just keep training, and I don't know, you just don't really think
yeah, for sure.
anything of it. But yeah, just keep training as usual, and just do our best to keep qualifying.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Do you mind if I pause here? My camera's dropped out. Is it? Or am I
Yeah,
still
that's
showing
all
it
good.
green? Yeah, hold it.
Yeah.
We'll just go and turn this other thing off. It's probably still recording another way, but we'll get it going. That's right. All good. I'm not sure if it's going to show back up again, but bear with me. We'll just keep going. Otherwise, I'll be playing with IT stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's one thing that sort of fascinates me when going through your mind? Like, is there a process that I mean, I'm a bit of a details kind of person. I love the system, and I can appreciate what you guys. I know what the velodrome process can be. Do you have a set routine? I mean, that sort of stuff fascinates me in terms of are you just 2 hours before I'm doing this, 60 minutes before we're doing this? You know, have you got a is there a hard and fast routine that gets you ready to go to that gate like you do? Because it's a pretty animalistic bloody effort when you get going by the looks of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we work with like sport spikes and stuff like that. But pre-racing, I tend to relax until probably like 60 minutes out. And then when you start warming up, you start getting in the zone, listening to music. And then just before the race, sitting down on the chairs, just getting ready to, I guess, unleash. Yeah. I guess that's kind of all there is to it. But yeah, you just just get on the start line and just go.
Just warm up as much as you can, get as supple as you can, and just let loose. Yeah. I guess because there's a lot of pressure on that, and that's where I've got a huge amount of respect for what you guys and girls do, because it's, you're talking about one standing lap that sets up the rest of the team, and if you 0.2 or 0.4 off, so for those that aren't doing that, to realise how switched on you have to be. It's not a case of I can warm into this lap. You've got to be, mechanically it's got to be right, and then you've just got to, like you say, unleash, and just that's all there is to it. And then,
I guess to start with, I still do get nervous sometimes, like in the gate, but like I would get quite nervous because I guess it is a lot of pressure on you. But then I found just thinking about small things that I'm doing, getting in the gate, like doing my straps up, just like not rushing and just taking my time to do them up. And I feel like stuff like that helps to just like calm me down a little bit. And I still do that now, and I feel like it definitely helps to set me up for the race.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, that confidence has got to come with it. I mean, there's, I'm sure you still get nervous, but you obviously know you seem like a pretty humble sort of person. But from the outside, you're pretty damn good at what you do. So there must be a point where you just go, well, I'm just going to do it anyway. Like it's not, nerves aren't going to help. I might as well just get on with the job. So
nerves are good.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you did right. I mean, that stuff in there about the getting the adrenal glands sort of fired up for that kind of effort. It does work. So
yeah, definitely.
We touched a wee bit on the strength stuff. I just wanted to know, that process. So will you get an official nod on Paris at some point? Like when do you officially get an email or a text or whatever from a selector saying, "Hey, you guys are going"? What part of the process is that happening?
So our Olympic qualifying doesn't end till April next year, I think it is.
Wow.
So we won't know until after that's closed off, and then the spots have been allocated. So saw a little while ago.
Sure.
But just keep head down and training. Yeah.
So what's next on that? What's the next event for you guys? You're obviously recovering from Glasgow and debriefing and going to the next thing. Where do you head now?
So we're home pretty much, I think, until the end of the year. So just like a massive training block to prep for next year, and then go into the Nations Cups. I think maybe like February, March next year.
Right.
But there'll be a few races at home that we'll do, and just keep things ticking over.
Yeah, a lot of race simulations and a lot of motorbike stuff. I guess you can keep pretty sharp for what you do, eh? But but equally, it's probably quite nice to get home to a block that you're not in and out of a suitcase, and you can just.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, just having that consistency in training is just massive. Yeah.
How do you find that overseas? Because I know the even just travelling domestically, if you're trying to go for a training camp somewhere, it seems all quite glorious and looks cool for social media, but it's actually bloody hard to do because you, like you say, you've got to find a rhythm, you've got to find food. It's not all that it's cracked up to be sometimes. But how do you find that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I think it definitely disrupts the training a little bit,
Yeah,
especially if you're going into a race because you're, I guess, tapering, but you still want to keep the load on, and then you're, I don't know, getting over jet lag. Yeah, like you said, the food's different. You're in a different gym, so
yeah,
the equipment's also not what you're used to. But I guess over time you just learn to adapt to that and kind of just go with the flow.
yeah,
'Cause that's what you can really do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. And I guess that's where people sort of either like you've done enough of it to know that I guess you obviously handle it. Some people probably don't, and that's potentially why they don't get the extra 5 or 10% out of themselves. But if you can, then obviously that's a good thing. So,
Yeah.
what do you do out of interest for people that are listening? I mean, everyone's probably followed you on social media, but what do you do outside of the gym, like outside of training? What does your day look like? If you weren't a cyclist right now, what's your normal things you do?
Well, I have a little coffee cart business.
Yeah, cool.
So I do that during the week as well. Not as often as I was. But yeah, I guess typical day when I am working is I get up at 4:30,
Well,
go make coffee, go to training afterwards. But yeah, other than that, just hang out with my dog,
right.
do that kind of stuff.
Pretty normal lifestyle. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we probably should get a plug in there. So it's Little Peachy's Coffee in Cambridge. Is that right? That's the
Yeah,
charity.
that's it.
Yeah, wicked. And are you based
Yeah.
whereabouts in Cambridge? Is it based?
There's the old Bunnings building, so I'm just
Yep,
parked up in the car park there. Yeah.
awesome. And you probably get every cyclist that's training there come and try and get a free coffee out of it, I imagine, during the day.
Yeah. Some of them.
It's amazing. So yeah, no, that's cool. It's so good to sort of get a bit more of a background of the story. But I guess just without sort of taking up all your afternoon, but where do you find the next gains for you? Like what do you need to do now if you just to get that little bit better? Like you're obviously a competitor and looking for small wins. What are they for you?
I think definitely getting stronger. So yeah, getting stronger in the gym and on the track. On the track, I guess my weakness is my length. So trying to build a little bit more endurance into my legs.
Yeah, right.
Um, I'm kind of like a two-lapper kind of person. Anything more, so I'm rolling around on the ground. Nah, but yeah, I guess that's a big work on is just yeah, getting stronger and yeah, being able to have a little bit more length in my legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, are you? Yeah, I think people from the outside probably think you guys have kind of reached where you are, and it must be, no doubt you're happy where you are, but I'm sure you're always looking for just those little things, whether it's tech or whether it's tire pressure or like say another few kilos in the gym on something. It makes all the difference in
Yeah.
the world. So
Yeah.
that it must be pretty easy to be motivated being around people that are all looking for the same thing. I would imagine you're surrounded by high performance people and high performance coaches, and it wouldn't be hard to find motivation.
No, yeah. And I think that's one thing that I've really enjoyed coming into the track cycling is training with like a good group of people. I was training with a good group of BMX as well,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it
no,
was
no,
quite individual. Yeah, so sometimes I'd be at the BMX track on my own, whereas with the track I get to show up every training session and everyone's there. Yeah, and just in the gym, like us girls always we're chasing the weight. And then
yeah.
if I see Sean do 10 kgs more than me, I'll try and chuck 10 kgs on. So it's yeah, no, I think it works real well, and yeah, you bounce off each other, and yeah, it's real cool.
Yeah, I think it's probably we haven't talked about it here, but it's one thing that sort of it is people probably underestimate that change. I mean, BMX is yes, you're part of it. There's no doubt there's a team around you, or there's you're part of a team, but it is
Mm.
100% you. Whereas this now it is a big transition. It's going from a highly individual sport to now, you can't be any closer. There can't be any gaps. It has to be a team environment compared to just you doing your thing. So that is a
Yeah,
transition.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, definitely. No, it's amazing. It's cool to watch from the outside. It's yeah, like I said, but all of us here are both. Well, my wife was certainly far better at BMX than I was. I had a little go at it, but certainly the track background and watching both of them come together from you was amazing. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, we sort of love following the journey, and hopefully we sort of can't wait to see what's next. Really, we're just trying to work out whether we can get grab a seats to Paris next year to watch all you guys. Would be nice, but
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I think the track cycling is already completely sold out now for Paris too. So
yeah, I know. Yeah,
yeah,
we're a bit slow on that, but that's typical Kiwi way. Yeah, end up being watching on YouTube instead.
yeah, yeah.
One of the things we'd love to try and do is get some rapid fire questions on there. Do you mind if we just hit you with a few of those? Just
Yeah,
it's
all good.
not too bad. We can edit them if they go terribly wrong.
All right.
No, we'll just bang through a few easy ones. So,
Yeah.
You've been around a few different places, but what would be your favourite BMX track you've ever raced or ridden on?
Probably Tokyo actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, really enjoy that one.
The track itself, or just the stage that it was set with, or everything?
Yeah, it was quite a technical track. It was fast, but it was quite a challenge because it was almost like 5 to 10 seconds longer than a normal BMX track, and doesn't sound like long, but it definitely changed the training, and I don't know, it was just like a real cool challenge to just have that little bit extra on the track.
Yeah, awesome. Here I'm saying rapid fire questions, and I'm trying to eat more out of you because I'm quite interested in that sort of stuff. But I'll try and keep it. You are obviously in the coffee business. What's your go-to coffee?
Small flat white.
Nice. We can live with that. That's good. Okay, we'll be up there soon. Talking about the pre-hype stuff before, have you got a hype song? Is there a warm-up song that you that's the last one you listen to before you go crazy in that gate?
Not really. I I don't know, maybe like this business.
Yep, nice.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, everyone's got their own thing. Some people don't want to share those. It's some random things that are people. On the music theme, are you country music, yes or no?
Yes.
Good answer. Thank you. That's all right. We'll get you back on.
Love a bit of country.
Yeah, good to have variety, eh? What's your go-to cheat meal? So when you're rewarding yourself from a hard day's training, what's your cheat thing?
Probably like a burger or something.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good Kiwi answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're when you are overseas and you spend a fair bit of time, obviously over there, what do you miss most about New Zealand?
Well, that's a hard one. I think maybe the supermarkets. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess gets a bit overwhelming trying to find new food.
Well, yeah. Yeah, true. Especially if it's not an English-speaking country, it'll be way different. So.
Yeah.
Where's the best place you've trained in the world
Um,
for either sport? Sorry, for either sport.
I don't know. Our Grenchen training was pretty cool. We got to stay at the track, gym there, and ride the track.
Where
So
was
yeah,
it?
that
Sorry,
was good.
cut out on us.
Grenchen in Switzerland.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a little tech thing. Yeah. Okay. Oh, awesome. So, this one's probably for the track nerd that's in me, but and people watching don't realise. But velodromes are obviously fairly different. Even if they're 250 metres, there's different straight lengths and different corners. Have you got a favourite one you've been on so far?
Maybe London or Cambridge.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Cambridge
Yeah.
is amazing. I've never. Yeah. Yeah. Obviously haven't ridden on London, but they were talking about Glasgow having quite long straights, tight corners. Is that right? The crystal.
Yeah, they were really long actually. Yeah.
Could you feel that, like the G-force in that corner tighter than Cambridge, for an example? Or?
Yeah, definitely felt different, and you out of the corner, you're so long till the finish.
Oh, really? It was noticeable, yeah.
Yeah, definitely noticeable. Yeah.
Well, sporting hero. So who did you look up to when you were growing up?
Sarah Walker.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have you know that you've probably raced her at some stage before she retired, I imagine, or did you
Yeah.
get the chance?
Yeah, we were racing each other, pre-Tokyo.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Wicked. So that would have been something unique. I don't think many people would have done that, to be looking up to someone like you say in primary school, and then all of a sudden you're trying to take her spot.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah. Wicked. If you weren't doing cycling, what would you be doing? What sport would you play or do?
Oh, probably like netball.
Yep.
Yeah, netball touch.
Is that just something you're saying, or can you actually play netball and touch?
I actually used to play netball until I had to make a decision just to do
Oh, okay.
BMX. So,
Oh,
yeah, enjoy
okay. I
that.
thought it was. It's like someone like me saying I want to be an All Black, but I'm absolutely hopeless at rugby. But
Oh.
yeah, I just wasn't sure there. And the last one I'm interested in is the three most used apps on your phone.
Um, Probably Instagram, WhatsApp, and Snapchat.
Right. Yep. Yep. All about socials. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Especially when you're traveling like that, I guess that keeping in contact is probably the most important thing, with the
Yeah.
world outside of sport. So
Yeah.
no, that's cool. That's a bit of an insight. In general, like from I mean, yeah, obviously we really appreciate your time. But is there anyone you want to reach out to? Anything that may be listening you wanted to a message to or mention to anywhere on here while we're recording?
Um, I don't know. That's a hard one.
Oh, sponsors, family, that kind of stuff. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
guess, yeah, family, sponsors, everyone that makes it all possible.
yeah,
Yeah, it's great to have a support team around me, and yeah,
yeah. No, it's cool. And obviously, a lot of those ones seem to have stuck through from BMX days. Well, family obviously does, but the sponsors tend to have some of them have come through from BMX through to track now, which seems to be pretty neat. It's
yeah, I was very grateful to have my sponsors continue on with me, even though I'm
it's
doing a
amazing.
different sport. So yeah,
Yeah,
really
that's so
lucky.
cool. Yeah, it is
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, well, from my point of view, I just want to say thanks for your time. It is a real privilege. One of the reasons we're doing this is we obviously love following the sport, and to be able to reach out to people like yourselves and have have Olympians and New Zealand athletes, and we're chatting to them. It's just an incredible thing. So we genuinely thank you for that, and obviously can't wait to see what the future brings, and obviously leading into Paris and obviously beyond. We'll hopefully get you back on at some stage once that qualification's done, and see what that build up looks like in 6 or 8 months' time, if that's all right. But we just genuinely wish you all the best, and it's cool to see that hard work paying off, and the results are just doing what they're doing. So yeah, thanks for being on it, and thanks for putting the work in that you are.
yeah. Thanks so much for having me on, and yeah, it's cool to have you guys supporting, all the local athletes. So yeah, really appreciate it.
No, it's cool. Yeah, we love it. If we can get any publicity for you guys, and if there's anyone out there, you never know, we end up with a link in the chain to a sponsorship or some accommodation somewhere in the world or something that
Yeah,
helps, then that's what it's all about. So
thank
no, it's
you.
amazing. So thank you. I guess if we yeah, I'll just leave the recording going because it's just doing its magic there. But
Yeah.
anything that's awesome. Thanks.
No,
Any
no.
nothing you said that you wanted to get out of? Wouldn't let any secrets out of the bag that we don't want the
Um,
Germans to hear
no.
any.
The Germans. Oh, I don't think they want our secrets. They're already going fast.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I'm
No,
not the most talkative person, so hopefully it was all right.
no, it's cool. It's perfect. I don't know what's happened to my camera too, which doesn't help it either. No, it's good. Thanks. I wasn't going to. I mean, I'd love to know what gear ratios and all that sort of shit you guys are running, but I won't
Yeah.
ask that on a podcast because that sort of stuff's not. That's for you guys and your team to know. But it's there's some details we just won't ask because there's got to be
Yeah.
some trade secrets. But
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely need to be working on bigger ratios, that's for sure, to get
yeah, I
closer to
imagine.
the Germans.
How far? This isn't obviously going in the pod, but
Yeah.
what was the time? I haven't got it in front of me now from in Glasgow. Obviously, how far off in fifth were you? Like, what is the separation?
Um, for first to fifth, we're about a second, so it's
Yeah,
quite
it's
a
not a lot,
lot.
eh? Well, it's not a lot,
It
but it is a
is,
lot. Yeah,
it is, yeah, it
yeah,
is, but it
yeah.
isn't. But yeah, we actually did a faster time in training
Oh,
before
really?
we left. So
Yeah,
yeah, I guess we're 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 such a what I guess new team, so it's quite exciting that we can actually have a whole year ahead of us to work on getting faster. Whereas I guess
yeah.
all the
Well,
other teams are kind of been together for a while, and um,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
You can
it's
kind of see
exciting
that
for
they've.
us.
Yeah, you definitely sort of see that with sort of studying behind the scenes that you guys are what like people the media sort of say a fairly new team, but it's not quite
Yeah,
you're not brand new, but you just
yeah, well,
figuring out each other's syncrasies as you go, eh? So,
yeah. Well, at Worlds it was because it was me, Sean, and Elise, and that was actually our first time we've raced together as that combo. So
well, yeah,
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 yeah, it was
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, I just I love it. I was more of an endurance side of it with points race and that sort of stuff. I'm just I can't standing start like you guys. It's just blows me away. But the sheer effort that you guys are putting in, it's those close up pictures of you guys all getting off the gates probably shows the public how much actually goes in. I think.
Yeah, yeah, not the greatest facials.
Like you got a visor on the
Yeah,
helmet. So.
thank God.
No, it's all in, which is amazing. So.
Yeah, that's cool.
Is there anything we can do for you or you guys behind the scenes? If there's everything you sort of, things you need or whatever, just from a, we're obviously running a bunch of stuff with nutrition and various gear. So if there's anything you guys ever sort of need, just I'm sure you're pretty well looked after, but just by all means reach out if there's stuff you need or access to or whatever,
Yeah, thanks for that. Thank you.
Yeah. And yeah, I guess the last thing I wanted to ask, would you, have you got any chance of doing I know you're not a huge sort of words person, but something like like an introduction for the show, like, hi, I'm Rebecca Petch. Make sure to join me on the Endurance NZ podcast. Would you be okay to record something like that? Or you want to?
Yeah.
Yep. Just something like that. If you just like it, that's what I just wrote a note. Just something like that would be great.
Okay.
Yeah, just make sure to join me on the Endurance NZ podcast, and I'll just make that a snippet for some social media stuff. So.
Okay.
It's recording, so whenever you're ready, if you take 2 or 3 goes, it doesn't matter.
Okay. So what do you want me to say again? Rebecca.
I knew we'd cut it out. Yeah. Just say hi. Say hi. I'm Rebecca Petch. Make sure to join me on the Endurance NZ podcast.
Okay, cool. Right.
When you're ready.
Hi, I'm Rebecca. Oh, sorry.
We'll have bloopers as well, if that's all right.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Rebecca Petch. Make sure to join me on the Endurance NZ podcast.
Perfect. Thank you. That's
all
awesome.
right?
It's ideal. We'll cut and make some clips and that sort of stuff. So, no, it's amazing. And the only other one I wanted to ask is I'm sure you're okay, but can we steal a photo off your social media or something somewhere to put on?
Yeah. No worries.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good.
Amazing. It'd be quite cool to put a sort of BMX track sort of overlay photo in there just to help tell the story.
Cool.
So.
Yeah, sounds good.
Oh, I appreciate your time. It's amazing. So thanks. I'm sure you got plenty of other things you could be doing for the afternoon, but it's really cool to chat and it is a privilege. So thank you.
Thanks for having me.
No, it's cool. I'll get it all edited and make it sort of live probably Monday, I'd imagine. So I'll tag you in social media when we do, and I'll let you know. I'll flick your message and let you know. So.
Right. Hopefully it turns out all right.
You'll be fine. It'll be something I've done in the background. It won't be. It's. I don't listen to them back anyway. It's something weird about listening to yourself on
yeah, I'm not sure if I want to listen to it.
No, my wife said the other day, she goes, I've got to listen to that other one in the car. I was like, no, you can listen by yourself. I don't want to listen to myself.
Yeah.
Not natural.
So. Yeah. That's awesome. Cool.
I'll enjoy your strength session today at the gym and
Yeah, we'll do. Thank you.
Keep following the journey. Okay. Take care,
cool.
mate.
Thanks so much. See ya.
See ya.